We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are going to be free when we can touch the world with love. Welcome everybody. I'm Judith Trustone, and we're here to show the world how we do a community kindness circle. The kindness circles grew out of my work in creative programs in prisons. And I gave a homework assignment one night. I wasn't sure what to do, and so I found a pack of thank you notes that I hadn't sent out. I'm sure we all have those in our desks somewhere. And I thought, what would happen if I gave these out and asked them to acknowledge kindness in another person? So I took them in, and I had a men's group and a women's group, and this was at the Philadelphia jail. And I gave them the cards, and I said, look around you when you see a fellow prisoner or a staff person doing something kind. Just write, thank you for your kindness, and give it to them. I didn't know if they'd do it. I didn't know if they did do it, if anything would happen. The following week when I went for the class, the guards in the schoolhouse were all female. And they ran up to me, and they hugged me, and they said, what are you doing with the women? It had, like they had this nanosecond of kindness in such a place. And it was so extremely the other way that everyone kind of got it. And so I was consulting with a group of lifers at Graterford Prison, and they said, that's what we need kindness. And so with the prisoners, we created the kindness cards, which you all will have before the evening is out, and hopefully you'll take a whole bunch, because we've given out 100,000 of them now around this country. We also have a Spanish version in 3 South American countries. They're also in Mexico, in Paris, and we're working now to hopefully get them into the Middle East. And my hope is that if enough people shift their consciousness, which is what this is all about, that maybe we can bring some rational consciousness to the worldwide conflicts that are going on. The whole planet's psychotic right now, and I think we've got to take a stand in support of rational actions. So, when I do these kindness circles in churches or schools or community groups, we generally have, the structure is that we draw the light of kindness from above. It can be the light of Christ, if you so wish, the light of Allah, or just the generic light of kindness. We also draw it from the center of the earth. There's a ball of fire in the center of the earth. And so we're going to draw that energy up from the center of the earth into our hearts. We're going to draw it down from the universal energy, or whatever you want to call it, also into our hearts. And then we're going to send that light of kindness around the circle. And then one at a time, we're going to take turns sitting in the center of the circle. And we're all going to focus that light of kindness on that one person for 30 seconds. This is the talking stick. And the talking stick is a Native American tradition. And for those of you who don't know, I did study with a medicine man for 14 years. And the idea is when you hold the stick, it's only you that speaks. We're not going to be doing a lot of talking. We're not going to talk about our troubles or what our issues are, because to me, the light of kindness transcends who we are as male, female, black, white, rich, poor, whatever ethnicity. We can transcend that. We can transcend racism and hatred, because we all are hungry for kindness. And no one has ever really said, no, I don't want kindness. It's deep in our heart. It's in our cultural yearnings. And instead of getting kindness, we get stuff. And we don't need stuff. We just need to learn how to really love one another, which is what the great teachers all suggested. So, the first thing I want to do is to show you the power of your mind, so that we can really harness that energy. And what I usually do is ask for the strongest person in the room to be a volunteer. Okay, this is called applied kinesiology, and it's a very interesting way of listening to the wisdom of your body, of learning what you really do want. And we can do a whole lot of different ways to prove this, but since we're making a short YouTube video, we're going to just do it with one person. Generally, everybody in the room would stand up, you would partner, we would do this with each other. And if you have a large group and enough time, you can certainly do it that way. Okay, the first thing you want to do is determine the baseline of the person's strength. So are you right or left-handed?
Right.
Okay. Raise your arm. Make a fist and resist. You always have to say, make a fist and resist. And I'm going to push his arm down and see how strong he is. Pretty strong. Okay, let your arm down. Close your eyes. Think of something negative. You don't have to tell us what it is. Anything, first thing that comes to mind. Got it? Mm-hmm. Raise your arm. Make a fist and resist.
Oh.
So, now take a breath, breathe away the negativity. Now think of something positive. Make a fist and resist. Thank you.
That's pretty neat.
So there you have the evidence that as you think, so shall you be. And there are many other ways we can show you that. So your thoughts create your reality, your words create your reality. And our motto is, be kind all the time. We need every single moment of every day to be devoted to a kindness lifestyle. So let's get close because we're going to have our hands connected for a few minutes. And what's going to happen is when we get each of us, I know it's a little snug, but snug is good. This is also a good example for, groups of people. You want to get some friends together and have a kindness circle. You have somebody who needs healing, bring them into the circle. The thing about this is that we can do it without any training. It doesn't cost us anything. And there's so many ways that we can express kindness. I will mention, by the way, that I am working on a book called Train Your Mind to Be Kind All the Time, The Global Kindness Revolution. And it's just a series of exercises that you can do with yourself. If you're stopped at a red light and there are people crossing in front of you, bring the light, open the little doors on your heart, send out light of kindness, and just wrap each person in kindness as they walk in front of you. The other thing you can do is smile. We're so focused on our hands all the time that we don't notice the birds, the sky. And so much of communication is body language, and we don't get that when we're just texting. And I, for one, am alarmed at that. I don't know, maybe it's just my age, but there's something missing in all this. So when you're walking along, I make it a policy to smile at everyone who makes eye contact, especially children. Children always smile back. And the elderly, who are often surprised because our elders are often invisible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't cost anything to smile. I think it takes so many more muscles to frown than to smile. I don't know about that, but experiment. And also, smile before you answer the phone, and your voice will have a much different quality to it rather than, hello. Say, hello, like you're really glad to hear from that person. I do want to say a word about telemarketers and help desk people, who are probably the most despised people in our culture. And what I try to do is to think, this is some poor person who has to have this job because they can't get something else, and they don't like what they're doing, and it's not their company that's making these approaches on selling stuff. So we have to have compassion for everybody, not just those who deserve it. We have to learn to forgive those who have harmed us, and a lot of us are carrying around a lot of almost historical hurts that go back even generations. We have to learn to forgive, because when we don't forgive, we're only hurting ourselves. So there's just so many ways to be kind, and once you start doing it, it becomes almost like potato chips, you know, you just can't stop. Because what happens when you give a person a kindness card, they're a little shy at first, like, oh, what are they trying to sell me? And they look at it and their faces light up. I remember a waitress at a rib place was there for a conference, and she brought the check and we did our thing, and I gave her a kindness card with the money. And she came back in tears. She said, I have just felt so lonely and desperate in my life, and to think that in just one moment you could give me something that would lift my spirits up. I can't believe it. Can I have some more? And so of course I gave her a whole bunch. So that's how we've given out 100,000, and we're going for 1 million. There's no reason why we can't give out 1 million kindness cards. Kindness is a wonderful thing. So let's experience it, because I think there's nothing like doing it that makes you get it. So, and again, as we do this, you'll have ideas of things that you can do that I haven't thought about. People that really need some kindness, and how can I do it without getting too caught up in their dramas? How do I set boundaries and still maintain kindness? How do I be kind to people that I really can't stand? And I think all you can do is see their humanity, and they got that way for a reason. Not everybody is born miserable. And so I think we have to accept that some people's wounds are very deep, and that causes them to act the way they do. So our hope is that as we do this demonstration filming here at the wonderful Peace Center in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, that people will watch this and say, you know, I want to try that in my church or in my organization or with friends. There was a little girl supposed to come tonight who's 11 or 12 now, and she first came to a kindness circle when she was 5. And kids get it. Kids get it so quickly. They feel the energy so much more easily than we adulterated people do. So this is for healing all of us, and what we'll be doing after we have each experience being zapped with kindness in the center, then we're going to roll out the energy from this circle all across the planet, and we're going to direct the light of kindness into prisons, into hospitals, into refugee camps, and into war zones. And in this very building a few years ago, I got an award for my work with prisons. It was Peacekeeper of the Year. I was very, very, very flattered. And when I made my little speech at the end, I said, my vision is one day, for whatever reason, maybe Martians will land, all of a sudden, all of the people at war, all the men at war will lay down their guns and go home and pick up their babies and raise the babies for however many generations it takes to breed the war out of them, while we women try to clean up this mess. I still believe that. Not much has changed, so. Okay, I'm going to put on some music, and we will start drawing up the energy from above and below and sending it around, and then zapping each other with the light of kindness. Let's get comfy and get your knee to knees. Okay, let's join hands. The left receives and the right gives. So close your eyes and take 5 long, slow, deep breaths. A breath into your jaw, letting your jaw relax. A breath into your armpits, allowing your shoulders and upper back to relax. A breath into your belly, allowing your belly to relax and your lower back. And a breath into your bottom as your whole torso relaxes, spreads out a little bit on the chair. And a breath into your knees. And as you exhale, imagine You can release fear and anger out your feet, so that with each breath you get more and more relaxed, more and more clear, and more open. And imagine now that deep within the center of the earth is a ball of fire. And take that earth light and draw it up through the many layers of the earth, through the rocky layers and the water layers and the sand layers, up into our feet, through the building foundation. Allow that to come up and let it circulate in our heart, the earth light, filling us with the light of kindness from the earth. And at the same time, the light of kindness is also coming down through the top of our heads. It's the light of kindness, the light of Christ. And allow it to flow down through your head, relaxing your face, your jaw, down your throat, clearing your voice, and down into your heart, mingling with the earth light, so that we're all kind of like balloons filled with the light of kindness and our bones floating in perfect balance inside. And now allow that light that's filling you to flow out through your right hand into the person next to you. And they send it out their right hand, and so on, until we have a circuit of light going through everybody in the circle. And as that light passes through you, if there's any place in your body that needs relaxation or healing, just allow it to be. And with each breath, more and more light, less and less tension, fear, anger, hurt, whatever you want to let go of. Just release it into the circle to be cleansed and purified. And now, one at a time, we're each going to take a turn in the center of the circle. And we'll start with Ron. And as you move into the circle, you're going to hold the talking stick and then link hands as you go into the center so that the circle isn't broken. And now everyone focus on Ron. Open your heart. Send out light, wrap him in light, fill him with light. And notice how we send out light, our own light gets brighter. When you hear the bell, just pass the talking stick to Brian. Doing an act of kindness is great for our health. It's anti-aging. It reduces stress. Here's how the science of kindness works. When we are kind, it raises our serotonin and oxytocin levels. These are our happy hormones. We get happier, the person receiving it gets happier, those observing also receive happy hormone increases. Even those reading about it or even just hearing about it are affected in a very positive way. Imagine if we all simultaneously focused on kindness instead of fear and violence. Imagine what a shift that would be in the world. Wow, let's try it. Now let that light that's circling through us roll out like a carpet in every direction, filling the room, filling the town, the state, the country, spreading across the entire planet, sending light into the prisons, sending light into the hospitals, sending light into refugee camps where 50 million refugees are trying to survive. Sending light to anyone in the world who is suffering, that their spirits may be uplifted, that hope may be kindled. And see the entire earth glowing with the light of kindness, so that if an astronaut were looking down upon the earth, they would see it glowing with the light of kindness, coming from this circle, and hopefully other circles that will form as a result of this one, spreading out until we shift the consciousness on the planet away from war to peace, away from hate to love and acceptance, away from fear to trust and respecting each other no matter our differences. Let the light of kindness fill everyone. And gradually draw that light back, gently, slowly, rolling it back, leaving large chunks of the light of kindness in the prisons, in the hospitals, in the refugee camps. And let's send special zaps of light to the Middle East, to Eastern Europe, and anywhere people are feeling the urge to war, to meanness. Let the children be touched with kindness so they can live in hope without fear. And as the light comes into our circle, we can put into the center those in our lives that we know need healing, even the ones that we're angry with because they need it the most, because our resentment of them keeps us from being fully kind. And let's also put into the circle our political leaders, that they may come to their senses and start governing instead of ego boasting and corruption. Let us make a commitment to ourselves, to each other, and to the planet that as much as we were able from now on, we will practice kindness wherever we are, however we can. We are planting seeds everywhere we go, and every kindness card we give out is a seed of light. And now we can let our hands disengage, knowing that we don't need physical contact right now, that we are established in the sisterhood and the brotherhood of light. And we will therefore always be connected with each other, even if we never see one another again. So I want to now just have you take a moment and catch your breath. I'd like to just go around and have you share whatever you'd like to share about whatever you experienced.
Warmth and energy in my body, a connectedness with all of you around me.
I felt lighter. I felt like there was this warmth of energy surrounding me and lifting me up out of the chair. And then I could feel the circle of light through all of you. And when Judith led it to go out in the carpets, I could feel that flow of energy out from us, out into the world, and giving it to everybody who needs it. I could actually feel that energy leave the circle. It was very profound.
Tears of joy, tears of warmth, connection, of friendship, which I believe is the best medicine on the planet, friendship. I felt seen and I saw.
I felt held and soft. And
We're going to do a chant that is from my granny rap, which is on YouTube. And this is the chorus of it. I won't give you the whole rap, but it basically goes, we gotta touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. So let's do that 4 times for the 4 directions, okay? We're going to touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love. We're gonna touch the world, touch the world, touch the world with love. You and me are gonna be free when we can touch the world with love.